Hello students, I am here with the first video on English language paper. In this first video, first we will discuss the format of English language paper. English language is paper 1. The maximum marks is 80 marks. You have 80 marks paper and time allowed to write is 3 hours. The question paper, it has different parts. The first part, the comprehend part of the question paper is a composition. You have to write a composition in approximately 400 to 450 words on any one of the following subjects. Now the instruction which is given, it is of 20 marks. The instruction which is given there, it is that you will be rewarded for orderly and coherent presentation of the material, use of appropriate style and accuracy of spelling, punctuation and grammar. So coherent presentation of the presentation means that all the points should be linked to each other. You have different type of essays in this. You have imaginative essays, you have narrative essays, then you have your reflective essays, you have your argumentative essays, and you also have a short story. So in all you will get 6 types of essays. Out of these 6 essays, you have to write an essay on any one topic. Now this question 1 composition, in this you have to write on any one subject. Then now first we discuss about the full format. I'll just give you a full format, rough idea of the format of the paper. Then we'll discuss each question one by one. Then question 2 is your directed writing. It has 2 parts. One is the directed writing and the other part of question 2 is the proposal writing. In the directed writing, you have different types of directed writing. Out of those, only one is being asked in the question paper. Directed writing is article writing, book review, film review. Then you can also have a cultural program review, a speech writing, a report writing. It can be a newspaper report, it can be a magazine report. You have a personal profile and you also have the statement of purpose. In the question, points are given and you have to write your report according to the relevant points. This is of 15 marks. Then the second part of question number 2 is your proposal writing, which you have to write based on a given situation. It is of 10 marks. Then we have the question 3, which is a short answer questions in which your grammar skills will be tested. It is for 15 marks. Then we have question number 4, that is your comprehension, that is of 20 marks. So first we start the discussion with your essay writing. I told you in the essay writing you have different types of essay writing, that you have descriptive essays, you have imaginative essays, you have narrative essays. Now children, writing is a good composition, just like creating a good piece of good art. And just as any budding artist becomes perfect in his art, why does he become perfect in his art? Because he follows some basic rules. In the same way, when you are writing a composition, you also have to follow a few basic rules. And it is not so that a person who is very good at spoken English, the same person is able to express himself in writing. So for this you have to plan properly and then only you have to write your composition. It should be meaningful. It is not necessary that it should be written in superfluous language with big difficult words. You can write in simple English. But what is required, that you have to write to a plan with a line of continuity. It should be coherent. You have to express the feelings in simple English also you can write. So some valuable guidelines when you are doing the essay writing question. Your essay should be orderly and coherent presentation of material should be there. Your begin or end, you can always use a quotation which is appropriate to the subject. Sometimes you can also pose a question in the beginning and then you can make sometimes you can make a factual statement which is supported by the statistical facts, figures. You can define a problem and you can describe the scene. In case of a descriptive composition, you should go in detail, describe each and everything in detail. And if you are going for argumentative compositions, you should make a strong statement. So having decided now how you have to begin your composition, how will you end your composition, so first of all you arrange, when you get your 15 minutes reading time, you arrange your ideas in proper order sequence, with each paragraph dwelling you a central idea, and then the beginning of the paragraph will give the central idea of the paragraph, and then you can expand that rest of the paragraph. So everything will go very smoothly, and they will be linked to one another without any jarring effect. You can do this very judicially using appropriate proper linking words. And don't make short monotonous sentences. Add variety to your sentences, because if you will not add variety to your sentences, your essay will become drab, it will be boring. And so it is very important that your pattern of sentences, they should vary to each other, and this is the main thing which will make your essay very expressive, very lively. So then we have the smooth flow of sentences. The sentences should be very smooth, very smooth. And then the transitional words and phrases you can use to connect the sentences, so that your sentences, they flow smoothly from one to the next, and they are coherent to each other. And then the optimum length of the composition, there is no specific prescribed limits as to the words are given to you, 450 to 500 words. So your composition should be of optimum size, and in that full composition, you have to do justice to your topic. You cannot go out of the topic, because if you go out of the topic, you are going to lose marks. Then it is natural that sometimes when you're writing in a flow, you make careless mistakes, but you should correct the same. So after you finish the essay, you revise your work, you read your essay once, you will find your mistakes, rectify all your errors of tenses and misuse of any word if you have not. And if you know any good words, new word, it is always appreciated that you use that word in your essay, but only when you know the use of that word, because wrong use of word will make you lose marks. Wrong use of prepositions, punctuation is very important when you are writing an essay. Your full stop, comma, question mark, exclamation mark, inverted commas, everything should be very clear. And then different types of essay compositions are there. Every essay has its own distinct style and its own flavor. Imaginative essay you write in some other way, narrative you write in some other way, argumentative is different, reflective is different, short story is different. But you have to if you have chosen the topic, then you follow that pattern only. Don't go away from the pattern. Write on a topic with which you are familiar. Write on a topic on which you have enough matter, which attracts you, which interests you, in which you can show your originality. Write on a point on the write to the point. Don't go away. Don't deviate yourself away from the topic. Quote some good quotations, but to make your introduction and conclusion interesting, but it should be relevant to the topic. And use plain and simple English with good punctuation and grammar. Again, I am repeating, children, I have already told you that use of good words is highly appreciated, but you always use simple English. Then a good vocabulary is very important. Be logical in expressing your view, and then you revise your essay after writing the last sentence. Do not write on a topic on which you do not have complete knowledge. Don't write memorized material, because if you forget everything. And don't use ambiguous words about which you are not clear. Don't use long confusing sentences. Repetition of the words and phrases should not be there. So when you choose a topic, list all the ideas which come in your mind, organize them in proper sequence, take out the points, take out the sub points, express each point in an effective way, and then you can conclude your essay, and then you can revise your essay. For example, if you are writing about a narrative essay, reply to the questions where, when, why, how, who, what. Get answer to these questions and you will get your narrative essay. Descriptive, you can descriptive, I told you, you have to describe each and everything in detail: sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. Argumentative essays should be based on historical factors, economic factors, psychological factors, and reflective essays, they should also be logical. So you organize, first you just choose the topic, then you give, just in your mind you just try to recall the sequence of events in a chronological order, give an account of the different type of people, activities, whatever you are writing, and then you can write your essay. And if you write your essay and the short story, it is very difficult to attempt in the 45 minutes available, because unless you have a very good command on the language, so you have your build a story around the theme or the title which is given to you, and in case you have to begin or end your story with a particular sentence, evolve a theme around that sentence. And the most important thing, children, write the story in the third person, because if you write in the first person, it is difficult unless it is specifically instructed in the topic. And the person who is the main protagonist of the story, just describe his character in detail, describe everything, use the sounds, creaking doors, rattling windows, piercing cry, use these different type of sounds to make your essay very interesting, and ending should be very surprising, and the story should be very original. The second part of our question is our question 2, which has a newspaper. You have the first question 2. The first question, if you see, it is a report writing, and the second question, it is a proposal. So now we have the second. If in the report writing, I tell you, the report writing, it is, you have different types of report writing for your class 11. You have article writing, you have book review, you have film review, you have cultural program review, and you have speech writing, report writing, personal profile, and statement of purpose. Now if you see, this question comes of 15 marks. If you see the question, you will see that some points are being given to you. You have to write your report related to these points. You can use your own points, but you cannot miss the points. You cannot miss any point. You are not supposed to miss any point. You have to use all these points. Apart from these points, you can use your own points. So whatever points are given, you have to write according to your report, according to it, whether it is a cultural program review, or it is a statement of purpose, or it is a speech writing, or it is a book review, or it is a movie review. You have to write according to the points which are given to you. So report writing, what is a report? A report, it is a systematic, well-organized document which defines and analyzes a subject or a problem. It can include the record of a sequence of events. It can include the significance of the events, evaluation, and your reports should always be, if you're writing about a book review or a movie review, any type of report, it should be in indirect speech, passive voice. Don't use the word I, and don't give your personal opinion until and unless you are being asked for. In the book review and the movie review, if you have to write a review of anything, movie review, book review, cultural program review, in that review they will ask you that you have to give your overall impression. What was your overall impression? But until and unless you have been asked, do not give your own suggestions. Personal opinion you will not give. And if you are writing a newspaper report, it should be short, precise. Use all the relevant points which are given there. Remember, use all the relevant points which are given there in the point. That is very important, because if you will miss out any point, then you are going to lose the marks. Each type of report writing has its own format, and you have to follow that format. You cannot change the format. Whether you are writing a book review or a movie review, you are writing a statement of purpose, you are writing a speech writing, personal profile, each and every directed writing has its own format, and you have to follow that same format. So now we come to the next question, that is the proposal writing. Proposal writing means that you have to give your suggestion for something. What is a proposal? You have to give your suggestion for something, for some situation. On any situation you have to give your suggestion. So a proposal writing, it also has a particular format, and we are going to discuss the format of the proposal writing in this video only at the end. Proposal writing, it is of 10 marks. It is you have to write this proposal in 150 words, and then you have to write a proposal in 150 words, and you have to follow all the full format. Then we have the third part. The third question is your structural grammar. The grammar is, children, very important. In grammar you have 5 transformation sentences. When you are doing a transformation sentence, a transformation of sentence, the meaning of the sentence should not change, because if the meaning of the sentence will change, the sentence will be wrong. So you have to follow the instructions which is given there in the question. Following the instructions, you are going to do the transformation of sentences without changing the meaning of the sentence. So in this first part you have 5 questions. The 5 questions carry 5 marks. Then in the second part of question number 3, you have prepositions. You have to fill in each blank with a suitable word. That is the preposition. Preposition, again you have 10 prepositions, but 10 prepositions, they carry just 5 marks. So 10 prepositions means of 5 marks you have. And remember one thing more, very important, children, in the preposition, please do not fill 2 answers. 2 answers is not acceptable. You just have to fill 1 blank, means 1 answer. Then the third part is your passage, which is in the form of the tense. We have the tenses passage. So you have to, this is also very important, you have to read the passage and start following the same sequence of the tense. Do not deviate yourselves from the pattern of tenses. So while you are filling the tenses, you read the previous one, and then you will understand that in which tense, in which sequence you have to write this one. So you have to read the previous one. It is very important. And when you complete your passage of tenses, then also you read the full passage once. And while reading the full passage once, while with the answers, you will understand if you have committed any mistake, because the tense, if the tense is wrong, it will just sound wrong, and if it sounds wrong, you can always do the rectification. Then the question number 4, we have a passage of near about 500 words. They will give you a passage. In the passage they will give you the question, and the first question, it is given below are 3 words and phrases. Find the words which have similar meaning in the passage. So you have to find a synonym to the word which has been given to you. And then we have the second part of the question. This second part of the question says that a word is there in the passage. They have framed a sentence of that word in the passage. Now you have to frame another sentence from the same word, but with a different meaning, and then that carries 3 marks. So now next is the question answers. You have 3 questions, 2 marks each, and the last part is your connected passage. Connected passage is your summary. It is of 8 marks, and this you have to write in the grid form in 100 words. Now comprehension exercise, it helps you to read closely and understand someone else's ideas, expressions. It has lots of series of questions which has been designed to test your understanding skills. So comprehension will always improve your power of concentration. It will help you in close reading. It will help you and read. When you get the comprehension, you read the instructions carefully. Then you read the passage properly once. When after reading the passage once, you come to the questions. Read the questions properly. Read the meanings, words whose meanings you have to find out. read the words whose sentences you have to frame. And in the sentence part, question children, your sentence should be at least of 10 words. Less than 10 words you will lose marks. At least 10 words, maximum 12 words, not more than that. Doesn't mean that you make a sentence of 20 words. Maximum 12 to 15 words, not more than that. So do the first reading. Read the extract straight away, taking in whatever you have to, just read it properly. Then you will do the close reading. Close reading means now you will understand the passage properly and read through the questions. Read the questions and then read the passage and think that from where I can get the answer. And then you just do not linger on any question. If you find any question difficult, do not keep on lingering on that question. Just read, and whenever the first question where is there, now to see you have the meaning. So you just read the passage and see where can I find the word which has the same meaning, So you can just go through supposing the first word is unobjectionable. So unobjectionable, you just go through the passage, read the passage and see that where can I find a word which has the same meaning. Planning, immediately find a similar word having the same meaning. Then the second question is to make a sentence. So it is reception. Now see that how, in which sense the word reception has been used in the passage. Frame a sentence in a different meaning. Then supposing reception here means to receive someone, and reception is a grand party also after the marriage. So if out of these two, which is being used in the passage, you see, and then you frame the sentence with another meaning. Same is fired, guard. So you can use this way, you can frame the sentences. And then read the words carefully, because if you will not understand the passage, then you will not be able to find the meaning words, you will not be able to frame the sentences, you will not be able to write the answers. Vague answers will not give you any marks. It is not, comprehension is not a test to test your ability to copy the sentences from the question paper. So please read the paper, read the paragraph, and then you try to frame this answer in your own words. That will be better, that will give you marks, and answer should be relevant to whatever has been asked in the question. Then the last part of the question is the summary writing. Summary writing, it involves a gist of the passage in your own words. Whatever you have understood, you have to summarize that passage now. You have to, and you cannot alter, you have the word limit, you have to adhere to the word limit. In the ISA examination, summary writing includes a question that will give you the main ideas of the passage. And in this part of the question, you are required to frame a summary in a coherent manner. Marks will be awarded for expression and your ability to summarize clearly in complete sentences. And if you will do linguistic errors, grammatical errors, your marks will be deducted. So first you should know that how many words do I have to write. Throughout the passage, your tense should be the same. Summary you will write in the third person. Choose your own words. Expressions, do not give irrelevant information. Avoid repetition of words. Try to write in simple language. Do not use abbreviations, and do not try to add anything on your own, because already you have a limited word limit you have. So do not try to write anything on your own. Revise whenever you finish with your summary. You revise your draft to ensure that you have included all the important points in the summary. That is very important, because if you will not do this, then you are going to lose marks. That is very important. So now we come to the example of proposal writing. I told you in question number 2, we have the second part of question number 2, that is the proposal writing. The format of proposal writing. First we will discuss the format of proposal writing. Now when we are writing a proposal, a question will be given to you, and then you have to write the proposal accordingly. Supposing I say that write a proposal Any question I can say, right? Supposing as a member of the student council of your school, you have been given the responsibility of launching a mobile donation program to help the underprivileged children in your area. Write a proposal in not more than 150 words stating the steps you would take to successfully organize this program. So, what did I say? So what did I say? That supposing now I have told you, so the proposal format, I told you that first you will write the heading, proposal for launching a mobile donation program. Then you leave one line, write heading oblique introduction. In heading you will introduce the topic. We propose to organize a mobile donation program to help the underprivileged children in our area so that they can easily have access to online education. Then again you leave one line, objectives. Then you write the following are the objectives for mobile donation program. Then point in dots you will put first dot, first point, second dot, second point, third dot, third point. Objectives will have 3 points. Then we come to the list of measures. The list of measures, again you will write the following are the list of measures, and when you are writing the list of measures, you have to mention a venue, you have to mention a proposed day or a date, you have to mention the people appointed and the budgetary needs. Then the last line is your linguistic ability. They will test your linguistic ability, that we hope that a proposal is accepted so that we can launch a mobile donation program. At the end you will write a full name. It can be your name, any name, full name, and the designation. Designation is always given in the question. Here supposing I gave you as a member of the students council of your school, so you will write member of the student council of the school. Now let us discuss one example of a proposal writing. Sample of a proposal. As the head of the students wing of the RWA is Resident Welfare Association of your colony, you have been given the responsibility by the MLA of your area to organize a medical camp. Write a proposal in not more than 150 words stating the steps you would take to organize this particular camp. So we start writing the proposal now. A proposal, first you will write on the top in bold letters, a proposal to organize a medical camp. This heading has to come in one line. You cannot use 2 lines for the heading. Then we will write heading oblique introduction, to organize a medical camp in Yamuna colony to create awareness towards health and provide medical advice to the residents. And children, we just see that your points should not be repeated. Next we come to the objectives. The following are the objectives to organize a medical camp. Then point number 1 dot, to provide free health services to the members of the colony. Point number 2, second dot, to provide free medical advice which will help the residents to get reference for specialized treatment. Then we come to point number 3, third dot, to create an environment where the whole community gets sensitized about health issues. This finishes your objectives. Objective will have 3 points. After objectives, we will write list of measures. The list of measures, the following measures should be taken to organize this camp. Now again in list of measures, remember you have to write 4 points. The last point will always be your budgetary needs. So we start in the first point, we mention the venue, we mention the date. So a suitable venue, we will suggest one venue. A suitable venue, most probably the colony park should be decided to hold the camp. Then we will give a proposed date also, that 2 days, that is Saturday and Sunday, would be appropriate for the camp. Then we write the second point, that who all do we need, who are the people whom we need. So or in this you can also write if you need any type of furniture, if you need any type of gadget, if you need any type of device, you can mention this also in this point. So a panel of doctors such as heart specialists, dentists and physicians should be invited to give medical services and advice to the residents. Then we need a team of volunteers officers which would assist the doctors should shortlist it. So then a last budget point is our minimum budget. A minimum budget of rupees 50,000 should be set aside. So in this budgetary needs, we have to mention the amount, and from whom are we going to get this amount, that also should be there. So, and why do you need that amount, you have to mention that point also. So a minimum budget of rupees 50,000 should be set aside, given by the MLA, to put up tents, rent chairs and tables, and buy some common drugs for the doctors. After this, we finish with our list of measures. Then we hope that the proposal will be accepted so that the medical camp can be effectively organized. Now your name, and in the question, since they had asked that you are the head of the students wing of RWA, so you will write your designation, head of the students wing of RWA. So students, this finishes our this video. In this we have discussed the format of the English language paper, and I also discussed the format of proposal writing. Hope you all must have understood. In the next video I am going to come up with the different types of report writing. I will explain to you the different types of report writing. So thank you all of you. Have a great day ahead. Stay home. Stay safe, children.